my name is Professor Saborna Barry, and today we're going to be doing some more algebra. We will start on slide one. Slide one, please.
First, ask if she can hear you.
Can you hear me, first of all?
Yes, I could hear you.
Say good morning to the audience.
So, good morning, everybody. So now, can you go to slide one, please? I know you're on slide 7. Okay.
There.
Okay. We're on slide 1 now. So, first, what is 1 plus 2?
1 plus 2 is 3.
3. Very spicy question if I do say so myself.
I think we wrote 33.
Oh no. Just gotta erase that. Okay, now what is n plus n?
N plus n is 2n.
N plus n is 2n. And finally,
And n plus 2n is 3n.
And ask
good.
how she got those answers.
I mean, how would you get these answers? Some people don't understand pre-algebra.
So n plus 2n. We always replace n as a number. The number is 1. So let's say 1 plus 2n. 1 plus 2 is 3. And since there's an n left over, we put it with the 3.
That doesn't work like that. Because for an example, you have to take away the n completely. It's not possible to add the two things that don't have the same partner, really.
Give an example. Show her what she really means.
So, she wants to make the n's 1. So you would be doing 1 plus 2 times 1.
Please, you don't need to show those times 1. You know that's not necessary.
2 times
so 1 plus 2. There's no n needed.
2. Oh.
This is an example.
That way.
So then, you can replace all the 1 you see with n. But somebody told me to not write the n multiplied by the 2. So, times 1, 2 times n is 2n, equals to 3n. Because 3 is equal to 3 times 1. Now let's move on to the next problem. So, you on slide 2? Slide 2, please.
Yep.
Can you speak a bit louder? I think
we have the mic here.
I know, but please speak a bit louder.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to move on to question 2. So first, now what is 1 minus 2? These are getting spicy.
Can you ask again? I don't think...
What is 1 minus 2?
Negative 1.
Okay, now what's n minus n? Spicy.
So n minus n is 1.
N minus n is 1? Wait, what? N minus n isn't 1. At the power...
Oh, it's 0. Sorry. I also think it's 0. Sorry. I'm thinking division. N minus n is 0.
N minus 2n? Please don't say 1/2.
Can you ask it again? I don't think.
What is n minus 2n?
Why is
To
it?
shout.
I'm not
Negative
shouting.
n.
I'm literally just talking. It's a mic. It's negative n. Good.
Ask her to explain.
But explain your answers. As I said, some people don't know pre-algebra.
Okay. So, let's put n minus 2n as 1 minus 2.
Our audience is excited. Oh my goodness.
That your little cousin. So,
Yay.
alright, so that will give you 2. 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2 is negative 2. So, no, negative 1, sorry. So just put that as n. Negative n. Since n represents 1.
Okay, good. Now, move on to slide 3, please, which seems to still be the do now. We have 4 do nows today.
Yep. Okay, 1 times 2 is 2. N times n is n squared. N times 2n. So then 1n. No, it's 2. So 2 times 1 is 2. So 2n squared.
Okay,
Right?
good. Yeah. But as I said, do I have to say this again? Some people don't know pre-algebra, so why don't you explain this to them?
Yep, after saying it a million times. Sure. So, what? Oh, wait, sorry. Wrong page. So, I thought of it this way. Replace all the n's by 1.
Yeah, you
If
always
you
do
do that, that would give you
1
yeah,
times
I've
2
been
times
explaining
1.
it a million times, but n is 1. So 1 times.
But that
2
can
times-
confuse you.
So we know that 1 times.
Don't let
2
it
is-
confuse you because 1 squared is still 1. You'll have to use a bigger number. Don't let this confuse you.
You know what? Just think of it this way: n times n. N times n is n squared. You have a 2 left over, so put 2n squared.
Okay, yay. That's another way to think about it. Less sophisticated way, but still. This is the last do now. Can you move on to the last do now, please?
Yep. Alright. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. Okay. As a decimal. N divided by n is 0. And n divided by 2n is 0.5n.
Okay. Okay, so 1/2 is 0.5. Good. N divided by n is 0.
Please, can
Oh.
you focus?
And n divided by 2n is 0.5n. Good.
Ask if
Okay,
she can hear you.
Okay, good. Fix your mistake.
Can you ask her why she made the mistake?
Why did you make the mistake? Were you thinking of subtraction or something?
I was thinking of subtraction.
Gosh, don't mix the signs up for subtraction and division.
Show the signs. Show all the
Negative?
different signs.
I already know the signs.
Yeah.
No, but
Times,
Don't mix them up.
division.
Don't mix these up. They may look similar, but don't mix them up. This is terrible. That is just terrible writing.
So,
Mm-hmm.
are you gonna move on, or are you gonna stay on this one?
I was just kidding. I'm not going to stay on this crap question. We're going to move on to slide 5. Can you go to slide 5, please? Slide 5. So you practice differences of squares, right? I thought you could add fractions. You've learned differences of squares, right? Learn the difference of squares. This is your worst nightmare. Of course it is. The time limit is 30 minutes. Okay. 11 minutes so far. I need to stand up.
Since 3 has n plus 8 and it doesn't have n minus 8, we put n plus 8.
You're solving it. Thought you said this was your worst nightmare.
Oh. 7 plus 3 n minus 8 over n minus 8 and n plus 8.
You have to put parentheses around them. Okay. So, what is 3 times n plus 8? No, what is 3 times n minus 8? You have to simplify this, you know. What's this? Can you simplify it? What I just boxed? Three times n minus 8.
Simplify that?
Just like multiply them. 3 times n minus 8.
So 7 plus 3n minus 24.
Okay. So what would that be? What is 7 minus 24?
7 1 second. Minus 17, so negative 17. So minus 17. So I have 3n left.
Yeah, 3n. Can you write it at 3n minus 17?
I did.
Wait. No, you wrote minus 17 plus 3n. Can you write it as 3n minus 17? Just satisfies me more. 3n minus 17, it's fine.
Minus 17.
Did we just write 117? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, phew. 3n minus 17. Remember, divided by n squared minus 64. N squared. This would be its most simplified form. Now, let's move on. Whoa, let's move on to slide 6. Slide 6.
That's the same thing like the other one, right?
This is, yeah, just like the other one. Except, this is not a difference of squares. Or is it?
Because I watched the video.
So why don't you take a shot at this?
What is those loud noises and something is wrong? I'm gonna see what the other pictures can't.
What's going on? Why don't you scaffold?
Okay, first, why don't you try to factor this out?
Yeah, it's called giving a hint.
I thought we were using the Socratic method.
Factor this out. So,
Yeah, why don't you try?
1 times 4 is 4. So what two numbers? 1 and 4. So n. No, that's so n squared plus 1 n plus 4 n plus 4. So that gives you n plus 1 plus 4 n plus 1 plus. So that gives you n plus 4 and n plus 1.
Okay, n plus 4, n plus 1. So, now why don't you do this one? What do you think this is? What do you think that is?
So n squared minus 1.
I'll give you a hint. It's 2 in English.
What are you writing?
DOS. That's the acronym for this type of expression. What is that n squared minus 1? What do you think it is?
Let's see.
DOS. It's a difference of squares. It's a difference of squares.
So,
sorry, it was being kind of vague there. Am I even using vague in the right context? Okay, so what is n squared minus 1? How can you simplify the difference of squares? Remember, you can split them apart like you did in the last question. You can boop, just like that. This is the worst nightmare of a sixth. This is going to be the worst nightmare of an 8th grader.
Wait.
I'll put it on here. Let's see if you can play with it.
Can
Why don't you scaffold
this make n squared minus 1?
Yeah,
and
how
n
would you
squared
handle
plus 1?
And minus 1 and n plus 1, you mean? Okay. If that's your form, oh.
Okay, relax. She's writing it.
Alright. Off. Minus what?
Can you ask the student to focus?
Focus.
I am. Because there's a one. N squared minus 1.
Why don't you scaffold if Why don't you ask the student to speak through her steps?
Speak through your step, please. Wait, n squared minus 1? But wouldn't that give n to the 4th power minus 1? That would be wrong. That would be n to the 4th power minus 1. So it's n minus 1, n plus 1.
N minus 1
And
so I'll just erase
isn't n
these.
squared plus 5n plus 4? But you're mixing up the fractions. The n squared minus 1 was under the 3, not the 2. You're mixing up the fractions. And
What's going on? Why don't you
You
give the
mixed up the
student some
fractions.
scaffolding?
it's 2 over n plus 4 times n plus 1 minus 3n plus 1 over n minus 1 n plus 1.
This is so messy.
Yeah, this is very messy. And you never multiplied it by anything. This is its full form.
Can you explain nicely, simply, how to do the math?
I can't really. It's kind of a jumble. Can you explain what you're doing as you do the steps? Now
It
you-
seems like she's stuck. Why don't you provide some scaffolding?
So 2 over n plus 4 n plus 1, 3 n minus 1 n plus 1.
I
Let's see which
suggest
these
that
are
you
missing.
erase all of it and begin again.
Yeah, me too.
So this time, why don't you do all the work nicely? Please?
Yeah, I'm going to try. Be respectful at least. Okay. Let's try again. First,
Yes, please, because I'm confused with this.
okay. So, we already know that n squared plus 5 n plus 4 n plus 4 and minus 1.
I don't think the student is taking a look. Can you ask
Are you
the
taking a
student
look? Can
to
you
focus?
pay attention a little more? Can you pay attention a little more, please? Okay, good. So we know that n squared plus 5 n plus 4 is n plus 4 n plus 1. But here is where you start getting confused. Now, we're going 3 over n squared minus 1. Now this is a dose. Difference of squares, a dose. I memorized it using the number 2. Now, the difference of squares here would just be n plus 1, n minus 1. Because the square root of 1 is 1. Okay. N plus 1 times n minus 1. Now, what is the missing one here? What is missing here? What is the binomial missing here?
Why don't I hear any speaking?
Hello? What is the third binomial missing in the first fraction?
N minus 1.
N minus 1. So if you multiply the bottom by that, you must also do that to the top. And then, what is the missing binomial here on the second fraction?
What's going on? I don't hear any discussion.
Hello? What is the missing binomial?
Talking.
Wait, you're
I
talking?
said missing by 1 is n plus 4 for the second fraction.
Oh. N plus 4 for the second fraction. Wow. So all this time I never heard you. Very surprising. Now, wait. If you multiply n plus 4 to the bottom, what must you multiply to the top? What is my English today? N plus 4. Okay. Now these have common denominators. These now have common denominators, right?
Wait, yes, they all have common denominators then.
So, now, what can we do? Now we can just plainly subtract. Oh wait, well, what am I doing? I'm solving all the binomials for you.
2n minus 2 minus...
I don't want to see cheating on me.
Can I do it?
Yeah, do it.
2n minus 2 minus 3n plus 12. No, that's a minus. Over n plus 4 n plus 1 and n minus 1.
Yes, but simplify the top now. Add the common terms. Okay, how can you simplify the top? How can you simplify the top?
I could hear you.
Add the like terms.
So add 2n plus 3n.
Okay, write your answer here. In the black
1
box.
plus 3n is 11.
Wait, what? You're getting so confused. You're mixing up operations. You're getting so confused. You're mixing up operations. Wow, Apu. There's a minus here, not a plus. There's a minus in front of the 3n. Okay. 28.
I'm done the sandwich I'm making. So negative 1 minus 10.
Negative 1 minus 10. Negative n
That's what it gives me.
minus 14. It should be. Add the like terms. 2n minus 3n is minus n, and then minus 2 minus 12 minus 14. And then the denominator is all of that crazy stuff. However, we're running out of time today. We're about to hit the half an hour mark, which is the time limit. 29 minutes and 50 seconds. This is the last 10 seconds we're together, everybody.
Excuse me. How's everything going?
We have to end it. The time limit has been reached.
No. Excuse me. Did you finish all the questions?
No, but the time limit had been reached.
No. You have to finish all the questions.
All right. We're going to go past the rules for today. Slide 7, please. Slide 7. Slide 7, please.
Yes.
Okay. Now, why don't we try to... why don't we multiply these to fractions? This is going to be your worst nightmare. Sorry, Apu.
Yep. Alright,
No, this is seriously horrifying. So
Why don't
many
you provide some
fractions.
scaffolding, Professor?
This early in the problem?
Ask the student if she requires any scaffolding.
Do you require any help, any scaffolding, as our student likes to call it? Do you need any help?
yes, I would like some assistance.
Okay, you want some assistance. So,
Yes, I would like some assistance.
Why don't you provide scaffolding, Professor?
I'm going to simplify this for you. Now, this is a dose. You probably know by now that means difference of squares because I've repeated it countless times. So, n squared minus 4 is equal to n plus 2 times n minus 2. Sorry if I wrote it too big. I simplified it for you. If you need any more help, you can always ask from me.
I believe she requires some scaffolding. Why don't you provide it?
Well,
Can you ask the student to explain through her steps?
Why did these have to be such
sorry, there's such treacherous expressions on here. This is just fraction mania.
Number 8 and 9 are the same problem.
Wait, 8 and 9 are the same problem? Wait, hold up.
Please, let's not get distracted. Can we stop being distracted?
Okay, so
Thank you.
let's get back to the point. Hello?
So, provide the student some scaffolding if she's stuck.
How? So, do you require any scaffolding?
Or n plus 2 and n plus 3.
Do you require any scaffolding, any help?
Why don't you just
As
provide...
I said, yes, I would like some.
Why do you keep asking
Okay.
her if you see she's stuck?
So n squared minus 3n. Here, the factor is n times n minus 3. I'm going to explain why, by the way. Because you can see the greatest common factor of both of these terms is n. So n minus 3, you can factor only n out. That's a lot of n's. Now, can you try more? If you do require any more help, I know you're going to be stuck severely on this one. This is going to be an 8th grader's worst nightmare. The worst nightmare.
Why don't you provide help, teacher?
Alright. I would say that n squared is n times n. That's helpful. Very helpful, in fact. Do you require any more scaffolding? Yep, C's stuck. C is really stuck. I don't think C knows.
After showing me thing, you're saying, do I need help? And then after...
You really need help, okay? Okay. I'm going to simplify everything. I'm going to simplify.
Okay, just... What do I factor?
Okay.
Factor. Why don't you show the right steps? Nicely, please.
So first you have to simplify everything on the fractions. So, God, I'm trying to show it nicely, but our audience is just getting too greedy. So...
Can I do the way I'm thinking?
Okay, be you. Why weren't you doing the way you were thinking? Why were you just stuck in asking for that way that I would do it?
Can you ask if she can hear?
Can I show you the way I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
She can hear me.
So, I was thinking of factor all of these out. Would that work?
Why don't you try factoring all of these out? I mean, it's possible.
So n squared minus 4 equals to 0.
Wait, that way? Wait. But you can't set it to 0. What you're supposed to do is simplify, not find n. So, that won't work your way. I thought the factoring you meant was like factoring this way.
Why don't you just solve it, teacher?
Okay.
Instead of doing that.
You asked for scaffolding, not the solution.
Now I'm asking for a solution. If that wouldn't be too hard for you.
Oh my God, the audience is getting very greedy. And now it's being disrespectful to their professor.
First ask if the student can hear you.
Am I being disrespectful?
No. It's somebody else in the audience. By the way.
Can you just show the solution, Professor?
Okay. Goodness. Let's show the solution. So, leave! So, n squared is equal to n times n. N times n divided by n squared minus 4 is what I like to call a dose. You know what dose means, right? Difference of squares. So, the difference of squares means that what do you think the difference of squares can be split up into? What can the difference of squares be split up into? This is a student-centered classroom, so I always like the answers being so.
N minus 2 and n plus 2.
Why don't you write it down?
N plus 2, n minus 2.
No, ask the... Okay.
Can you write it down? Can you write it down on the Jamboard?
Yeah, sorry. I have to sneeze.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Now,
Great job.
good job. Now we're going to move on to the next fraction. The factors.
Can we factor this one out?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that is my favorite one out of all of the expressions.
Good. No.
Okay, so 6. What about negative 1? Negative 1 plus 6 gives you 5.
Negative 1 and 6 gives you 5. But it also gives you negative 6, which is not positive 6.
1 plus minus 6. Yes, 1 plus minus 6. So positive 1 and negative 6.
But would that...
gives you negative 5.
But it gives you negative 6, not positive 6. It also gives you negative 6. So you can't have that. You need the product to be positive 6.
Negative 5 and 1.
Minus 5 and 1. But that would give you a product of minus 5 and a sum of minus 4. So let me try to find the factoring pair. No, it seems like it's minus 6.
Isn't it just minus 2 and minus 3, Professor?
Oh yes, minus 2 and minus 3.
Oh, thank you. Minus 2 and minus 3.
Nice.
Okay, Professor. So, does the student need scaffolding? Why don't you ask her?
Oh, did you make a mistake somewhere? Why is there no N in front of the 2 and 3? And why did I made a mistake too. My N looked like a P.
Yes, I'm like, wait, why did you put a P? So, the N there, minus 3 and minus 6. No, plus 6. Now, minus 3 and minus 2. So, and minus 3 and minus 2.
Oh. So now what can we put on top of the second fraction? Now what can we put on top of the second fraction? Remember the two binomials.
So on top you would put n minus 3 and n minus 2.
And then what is n squared minus 3n? Can you factor anything out there? Can you factor anything out?
Factor out? Oh, okay, just...
No, you try. I like this being a student-centered classroom, not a teacher-centered one. We literally didn't do anything. A man in the audience is overreacting, so you can't set it to anything. Our goal is to simplify, so sorry. We just gotta factor something out. Well, it was a good try.
I guess we just put that as...
What is the... No, what is the GCF? What's the GCF of both terms?
Isn't it n minus maybe 1?
Wait, no, it's n. N is the GCF. You can factor out n. And what would that give you inside the parentheses?
I think there's some scaffolding required.
Scaffolding required. Okay. Scaffolding required? Well, n squared divided by n is n. And then minus 3n divided by n is just minus 3. So it's n times n minus 3 below the fraction. n minus 3. Now,
why don't you give the student the opportunity to cancel out terms, Professor?
yes, that's exactly what I was going to do. So, why don't you try canceling out? There is a mad amount of terms you can cancel out.
Why don't you ask the student to cancel them out?
Yeah, I'm asking them.
Okay. I thought you were gonna do them.
Being impatient.
So ask him.
Him?
Her.
Now, cancel out the terms. There was a mad amount of terms that are the same.
Why isn't the student canceling out terms, Professor?
Can you cancel them out?
Maybe she needs scaffolding. Can you take the red marker, and cancel them out?
Okay. I'm going to cancel.
I think I'll be able to do it.
Okay.
But I don't understand why you...
Cancel out the
No, I
terms.
can do it. I can do it. It's n minus 2, so... That's n minus 2, right? Or
Yeah?
N
Yeah, n minus
plus
2. No, n minus 2.
Okay, so n... So n minus 3, n minus 3. You're left with n and n, so n
But
squared.
can you cancel the n's out?
This is the last question. Why don't you tell that to the student?
You wanted us to complete all the questions. And now you're limiting us to 7. Wow. Mr. Hypocrite Audience. Hypocrite Audience. Hypocrite Audience.
Can you just tell the student that this will be the last problem?
This will be the last problem. BTU. BTW.
So is that it? You guys solved
No. We haven't canceled everything out yet. So now why don't you simplify? Because we canceled everything out. Whoa. Why don't you simplify now? Multiply both of the fractions together. N
You can just write the answer.
over n plus 2.
That's it.
No, times 1 over 1. Yeah. So that's it. Bye-bye, everybody.